Greetings, everyone. My name is Jed Shlackman. I work as a holistic counselor and spiritual energy healer. For this video, I'd like to speak a little bit about the ego, and I'm going to refer to this as the insecure ego, since your ego can be functioning in different states in a sense, where it's more or less secure in its sense of self, and how that insecure ego can, in a sense, distort or compromise our work with spirituality or with intuitive arts. By spirituality, I'm referring to pretty much any practice that you might look upon as spiritual. So that could include religious practices like prayer and studying a spiritual text, as well as things like meditation or spiritual healing. With intuitive arts, that can include anything that's a method of connecting with spiritual information of some sort. So it could be channeling, mediumship, tarot reading, astrology. So any of those ways that people might employ to receive some form of spiritual guidance. With all of those different practices, we can come to it from a different state of consciousness, or from varying states of consciousness. You could pursue spiritual practices from a very secure, centered type of state, where you're not trying to gain something from an egoic sense from it. So you're not looking to use spirituality to attain a material reward. You're not using spirituality from a place of fear or desperation, where you're hoping to escape from some difficult situation or suffering. You could be going into that spiritual practice or consulting some type of intuitive art from a place of pure openness to just receive whatever serves your own personal growth or your own higher good. So if you're coming to spirituality or those intuitive arts from the insecure ego states, often you're looking to gain something here in the physical plane. People will often consult a psychic or astrologer to get some information that they think is going to help them further their career, help them improve their love life, help them improve their physical health if they're suffering from an illness. Those are some of the fairly common reasons people seek intuitive guidance, as well as reasons people will start to engage in some sort of spiritual practice. Often you'll find people have neglected their religion or spirituality until something distressing occurs in their life, and then they are there going on their knees asking, "Oh God, please help me, please answer my prayers, please relieve me from my suffering," etc. So when you're coming to it from those states, that can bring a distortion into the experience or into the form of connection or reception that occurs. Often people are looking to use spirituality for something that's more of a material agenda, we could say. So if you have that material agenda, often the information you receive or the guidance you get is distorted in a way that reflects your consciousness, your intentions as you seek out that information. So if you're consulting some type of spiritual guidance or seeking to develop your spirituality, my suggestion is to work on bringing yourself more into a centered state where you're not coming to it from a place of need or desperation, and you're not coming to it from a place of seeking to exalt yourself or gain some type of edge over other people. To have a more balanced or more service to the higher self or soul type of intention when you begin to interact in those ways. If you start to pray and ask God to give you riches or to give you fame, things like that, it may or may not actually support you toward those agendas, but even if it does, there may be kind of a negative side effect to that, some lesson you might need to learn, where yes, you might you might achieve or attain riches, but attached to that is something unpleasant that will occur. You might get that, but then you lose your marriage, your family, your children reject you, your best friends depart from you. So things have some complexities to them that you might not consider when you just state an intention or state a prayer of what you want to get in your life. People are often seeking to manifest something that's actually not for their greater good or doesn't really serve their personal growth or spiritual development. And if you're not in alignment with that greater picture, with that greater purpose of what your soul desires, either it may interfere with you manifesting what you're asking for, or if you do manifest it, there may be some unpleasant lesson that will come along with it because you had that imbalanced intention when you sought to manifest that. For those that are using astrology or tarot or psychic readings, it's valuable to consider what your intention is when you consult those types of intuitive services. I feel that it's ideal to come in with kind of this openness or this humility to consider that your soul might have an agenda that transcends your own ego's intentions, that comes from a place of awareness beyond your fears, beyond your desires. So if you can kind of surrender to that, to whatever your soul may wish for you to know or understand, to use those sessions for your spiritual growth, not just to gain something here on the material plane, then you might receive something even better or more valuable than what you had originally thought of, what your original intention was. So have that ability to have humility, to be open to your soul's grander vision of your life, of what you're here to learn or understand. So you could ask for your own growth, your own healing in a sense, not just to escape from suffering, not just to have some type of gain on the material plane, but to actually evolve as a spiritual being. Spirituality and intuitive practices can be very valuable in many ways, but we actually limit or constrict their benefit when we come to them from our insecure ego perspectives. So I'm not here to denounce or shame anyone for having the ego distorting those types of practices, for having those material intentions come into the equation, but I'm encouraging you to consider that there are potential limitations or drawbacks from that, and if you can come to a place of more balance, of more openness to your soul's true desires or greater desires, then you may be pleasantly surprised by how you're able to benefit from spirituality, from different spiritual practices or spiritual or metaphysical arts. For those that are interested in learning more about holistic healing and spiritual topics, I encourage you to visit other videos, to view other videos I've done on these subjects. And you can also find information about healing resources I share on my website, which is phinsights.com, phinsights.com. For now, I wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.